Welcome back, everyone. I want to do a quick price update for the weekend. As of right now, I know Coinbase said we hit 18 cent. They do a lot of volume over there. As of right now, we're hovering somewhere between the mid to high 1700s and 18. And we are positioning ourselves for that big retest. So I wanted to point out a couple things here as far as for um, getting a time frame and how this potential run into the next leg can play out. We are obviously, if we hit 18 here and we get pushed down, or we start trending sideways, and that kind of aligns with our first theory here, because historically we can continue this to like the first week, maybe second week of April, at the latest here, based off of the time frames for history. But this is our support range here, right above this 15. Technically, this is what we were doing before, 15 to 18. And if you follow the channel, this is what I was saying, was that when we have these anomalies that push the asset down, it seeks equilibrium for that time frame as far as for the value of the asset. So this is why we had this rush to get back to 15 to 18, because that's where the market believes that there's fair value at. So the lower they push it due to whales dumping, Bitcoin habit, whatever catalyst it is, the faster and the stronger the move is to get back to equilibrium. And if you push it down far enough, you can have some overshoot. This is the what we're working with here as far as the 15 to 18 range. And if you don't know, if you look at some of the shorter time frames, it can look like a inverse head and shoulders, and even here, you can kind of get that idea. You can kind of, or to draw it here, but you can kind of get, let me see, forgive me for this, but you can kind of get an idea here. And so this would be a shoulder, the head. And so theoretically, this is what it's saying, is that we can hit around the 18 mark and get another slight push down to get the other shoulder. And then it does the opposite of a head and shoulder pattern, which is a downtrend. This is an uptrend. So technically you get the second shoulder and then you have the breakout, right? And even then, there's certainly, with our initial projection as far as the time frame, there's certainly room for that to play out. But the thing is, people typically are looking for like the better deal and say, okay, well, if it's showing inverse head and shoulders, that means it's an opportunity to get a better deal on price action. And the answer is slightly, depending on how you're charting, because technically the deepest pullback is the head, which is what we've come out of. This is the deepest. The shoulder is always a lower pullback. And it's necessarily not even that low. It can be like these here are wicks. This is not where we actually closed at. We, even on the red days, we still closed above it. This is a wick action here. We went there on the day and then it was bought up and pushed it back up. So it represents what happened that day, but you would be very fortunate to catch the price down here. And even here, you had less than a day to do that. And then we regained 2 days. Like when we broke below 15, I know, because we're talking about 15 being the support, and we broke below 15, and we had that rally down to like around like 12 cent. We regained that in 1 day, both red days right here. If you take a look at these, both of these candles here, that was regained in 1 day. So if you are trying to time the market, which I highly, again, not financial advice, but I highly suggest that that's a bad idea. You have to move very quickly if you're going to do those assets. Not something you wait and see, because if you would have sat on this for a few hours, because most of this price action came later in the day, if you'd have sat on it in a few hours, you would have missed it. So this second shoulder here, if this plays out, I'm gonna put that in there, is going to be probably similar to this. So maybe a dip down to 15, slight 15s, and we have that breakout there. So again, this is just a theory. We'll see how this plays out. There's a couple things here that could happen, because for all I know, we could, tonight we could wake up and it's retesting 18 and it breaks through. And obviously we're going to 20, 21 cent there and setting up for that run to the mid 20s. So it's not the end of the world. It's just what we're looking at here. So this could, obviously go up here, test 18, break it, close above it. We could have the sideways trend here, or we can complete the the inverse head and shoulder pattern, which still aligns with this sideways trend here. Still, it's basically just price fluctuations. It happens. So that can certainly play out. And then if we take a look here at shorts, they are not confident at all. We'll see some movement here. We just saw a spike here. Okay, so yeah, they have taken a slightly larger position, because when I checked a few moments ago, this was actually flatline. They've been flat for like the last 4 days. So it looks like they are moving ahead and coming in. So they're going above the 72-day. Very interesting. So we'll see how this plays out for them. Any of those catalysts, if they're able to hold these positions, they're taking shorts at a higher position, because this here is obviously at around 15 or 14. So they are in the red, just not greatly like they were back here. So we'll see how this plays out for them. Shorting at 17. We'll see how it plays out. There's probably just trying to get like a balance between having some lower shorts and some higher ones, but we'll see if they're able to kind of get it down. If it does go down, I think it'll do probably around like 15, 14 if it does. I don't think it's going to be a significant pullback here. There's probably something to complete this shoulder like we just talked about. Let's take a look here at Bitcoin. So I believe, yeah, Bitcoin going sideways. So that explains a lot too. We'll see probably that, not necessarily stagnation, but that sideways movement will probably echo throughout the market. Yeah, Ethereum too had the big correction, pulled back, got back all the gains it gave up, and now going sideways. But Ethereum deserves a break, because this run here, oh my God, that's historic. So I'm not mad at Ethereum for that. But yeah, so we're probably going to see this echo throughout the market. So again, not the worst thing in the world, but this is, if you are looking for periods to increase coin count, these are the levels. You want to do it around significant levels, because you won't wake up and be deep in the red. Typically this level will put up a fight. So if we went to 25 and I don't know, a big whale started dumping, or there's some huge macro catalyst or something, typically we won't blow through these levels. You'll at least get a couple of bounces before it says, okay, I need to search for liquidity. So that's the benefit of having entries around these levels here. So whether that's 15 or 6 cent, somewhere in our major liquidity lines, that's the benefit of being at those levels versus being here. Because here you don't know where the candle's going to close. It's not even, you can just give a theory, but you can potentially start filling gaps here, and it's, your guess is as good as mine. So with that being said, this is a price update. Not much going on right now for the weekend. We are rallying to retest that 18 level. We will certainly see probably tonight. That's typically when Doge likes to run. We'll see that going into Monday, and see the strength of that movement, and we kind of gauge what's going on from there. So with that being said, like the video, share it with a friend, and I will see you guys in the next one.